So we will learn more. Now let me go to Dr. Suket Singhal, and as mentioned, so we will hear a story from India company perspective, that how it has gone. Suket, please, let's welcome him.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Vivek, thanks a lot for glowing introduction. Right, so what I'm going to do is try and follow on from the three speakers that have already spoken. And I'm going to try and talk at a slightly more generic level from what our experience has been as an Indian company with Indian design centers designing for outside. So as we all know, product design is, if you just think of good, oops, sorry, I forgot I'm in control. As we all know, good designers are just a subset. If we talk of good designers and aim for good product design, we'll be looking at an incomplete picture. Whereas if we look for great product design and we look at three key areas of people, partnership, and processes, then we're more likely to be hitting the right notes in end-to-end product design for the country. Let me detail what I mean by that a little bit more. So just remember the colors at the back here. The purple was the people piece, yellow was the process piece, and orange, pink is the partnerships. So as we look at partnerships and what we want to achieve, you've got partnerships with customers, you've got partnerships with your suppliers, and most importantly, partnerships with academia, all the universities and higher education institutions. Then as we move on to internal processes within our own businesses, we have to understand sales and marketing processes, our portfolio processes, and we have to tie them back up with our production engineering processes so that we can get good products from design to shelf. And we've got to look at our people for designers and the product managers. So this is just a summary of how the detailed model overlays on the top about great product design, partnerships, people, and processes. So if we go down and look at them in detail and see the situation where we are today and where we need to be in the future, we can figure out some of the actions that we wish to take and some of the paths we have to carry. So if we look at designers today, if we look at fresh graduates coming out, what we find as a business is that the overall experience of what industry is looking for and what they're being taught in college, both in terms of quality and content, there is a bit of a difference. We find engineers don't necessarily understand the dollars, the pounds, the yens, and the rupees straight up as they come out, which are again critical aspects to product design. Similarly, there is a massive skill imbalance today. Software engineers, electronic engineers, network engineers, they are the sexy thing. Everybody wants to be a software engineer or an electronics engineer. Very few people want to be mechanical engineers. Again, very hard to bake end-to-end products until you've got the right balance of skill. Similarly, the aspiration to become a manager. This is a very important social aspect of our country. Everybody aspires to become a manager. So once you're a good designer and you've developed some seniority and you've got 10 years of experience under the belt, you want to become a project manager. When you want to become a project manager, you want to stop applying your 10 years of technical expertise and you want to just manage the programs. That's not how project managers should be seeing their roles. We need to be driving project managers to be seeing their roles at technical aspects as well as project management aspects. Now, if we talk about partnerships, we've seen right through the day, pretty much everybody has talked about collaboration, upstream, downstream, and similarly, we've got to look at customers. We've got to be better at understanding what they want. We've got to get, for our suppliers, we've got to get better at articulating what it is that we're looking for. What are our technology roadmaps in terms of our products? What are our expectations from them in terms of the technology roadmaps that they should have? And this necessarily doesn't even have to be of semiconductor roadmaps or communication product roadmaps. It could be just as simple things like in India, injection molding or the manufacturing of bare boards. Even those technologies have to keep pace with product design that you are doing so that you can get the products out on the shelves. And lastly, in partnerships, one critical area in India where we need to improve is our collaboration with higher education institutions, colleges, universities. what industry is looking for and what is being taught in engineering degrees today, there is a big gap. I'm sure I'm not alone in the room when we say it could take us up to 2 years to get engineers up to speed, to get engineers up to good productive results that we're looking for. There is a massive stratification in terms of the good colleges who produce good degrees, and then there is a chasm and the bottom of the pyramid where the largest number of engineers are being produced. They are actually pretty also ran in terms of the engineers they're being produced. And similarly, upfront research. Academics need to be accountable. They need to take into their stride that they'll be working with industry on research. They'll have deliverables, and they'll be responsible for good quality, timely deliverables. That also helps the engineers in their training before they come into industry. Similarly, processes. It's very, very important to look at business processes end to end. Like mechanical engineers are not the done thing, production engineers, people don't want to use their engineering degrees in production. Again, production is one of those unsexy things, but production is what takes a new product, puts it into a factory, makes it go out on shelves, and constantly improves our ability to deliver it so that you can drive costs out of the system and you can remain competitive within the business. So again, processes are a critical piece that we need to be looking at. So first, just to summarize, we need to get a better skill balance in our people. We need people like mechanical engineers. We need to be able to satisfy people for being just designers, good quality designers. The work we do with our colleagues outside India, they're happy just to be technical designers. They don't want to be managers. They say, no, please don't give me a management role. I hate a management role. We need to have our designers aspire to that. Technical excellence is rewarded, is commended, just as managerial excellence is. We need better quality integration with academia so that what we as an industry are looking for is what the young engineers of today, the aspiring engineers of today are being taught. Similarly, that will allow us to do a lot of collaborative front-end research, which again is not possible today because the quality of it and the timeliness of it out of our colleges isn't really assured very well. And then finally, if we take an end-to-end overview of our processes, including production engineering and the front-end customer processes, then we're likely to be able to conceptualize, define, and put products on shelves faster and in better quality with better first-time yields. So that's just a brief summary of where I see today and where we should be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So thank you, Suket. I think this must be a bit of surprise that here we see that we need mechanical engineers also. Although being in IESA, we speak only of electronics PhDs and so on. But that shows the reality that if we have to do the product design, there is a need of mechanical engineers as well, and somehow we need to leverage. So thank you. I think that shows the challenges what a company coming from India and operating from India and doing the product development design is facing, well captured in those three verticals.